guitar buddies, Rolling Stones classic Brown Sugar. So we'll start with the Keith part, and I've got the open G tuning here. So I've got an open G chord, D, B, G, D, G, D. Now Keith takes the 6th string off, okay, and but I've left it on, okay. So but never really plays it, okay. So what I'm playing here is, okay, that's my start. Okay, so I've got a barring across the middle 4 strings. Okay, and I'm playing, starting with a C. So I've got the bar on 12, and I'm adding my 3rd finger on 14 and my 1st finger on 13 on the D and B strings. Then just a bar. Then I move that bar down to 5. Get a C. You add the same 2 fingers on 7 and 6 this time, and then back off. And the second time he plays it slightly differently. just an extra little strum. The third time, kind of slightly different. If you played it the same each time, it wouldn't really matter. You know, it's just a little rhythm thing. Back to the first one. There you've got. Okay, so here I'm playing an E flat. Okay, so I'm barring across 8 and then adding my third finger on 10, an F there, on the G string. Then going down to 5. Okay, and just adding an F again on 6 on the B string. Now you can kind of hear an A in there too, but I think the other guitars adding that little A in. But okay, so I'm just doing adding one note on the Keith bit and then going down to an A flat. So here I'm just barring again, this kind of classic one finger bar. Then adding 3 back to 1. Moving up 2 frets to a B flat. Again, adding my third finger, this time on 5, all on the G string. Yeah. Then like we played at the start, this C to F over C, back to C. And second time I think it does, starts on the F. But it's all very, or, you know, slight variations don't really matter much as long as you've got those chords in there. So that's the kind of classic riff. And then on the Keith guitar, on the verses, I'm mainly just playing. So the verse, I'm just playing a C, and it just really kind of did little stabs on just that little bar across 5, and sometimes he'll add, you know, he kind of plays it as he feels like, you know, on the night, you know, and then slide going up to 10, that kind of thing. So just that, and then 10, again adding that little shape so you get, you know, that B flat there over the F, back to C, and then just bar on 3, you should have heard them, to a C, then got to just hit an open G, just open strings. And then the Keith part's playing just opens easiest, yeah. So here we just open strings, and then on the D and G strings, open, 3 and 3, open, 5 and 5, a little pull on 3, back to open. So back into the intro. Okay, and so that's the kind of verse chorus section. Like I said, there's little variations in rhythm he plays each time. Obviously, back in the 60s, you didn't just play one verse and loop it in Pro Tools. You kind of played it every time how it felt. All right, so that's that. And then what I did was I transcribed the saxophone part for guitar. Okay, because obviously if you're doing a gig, you might not have a sax player, so you probably have to do a guitar solo instead. All right, so what I did was, if you're doing a gig and you don't want to retune your guitar, okay, I made all the notes, all the solo notes I'm playing on the D, G and B strings, okay, So they're just normal tuning, okay? And so, because you can pretty much get away with playing this song in standard tuning, because most of it's on these middle strings. You can kind of leave out that note if you want. Anyway, on the solo, I played. So I'm just starting. Just with a bend. From F to G. Okay, so from 10, bending to 12, but then. So I'm bending up to a minor third there. So I'm bending the G up to that B flat. So it's quite a bend. And then just, so I'm bending on 12 up 3 frets, and then a B flat and C on 11 and 13. And then got. So here we've got a little bend to a B flat, and then a G. So I'm bending on 10, a little semitone bend to 8. And a bit of vibrato on this F. Okay, on 10. Pull on it. Then just kind of very much the blues scale here. 10, 8, 10, bend, release, 8 on the D and G strings. Then the same notes again. Yeah. Okay, and then. So here I'm doing that kind of classic country thing. Bending up on 10, F to G, and then playing on top of that the B flat. Then releasing down to 10, pull off to 8, 10 on the D string C, back to E flat and 8, and then moving into this little box shape of 12, 11 and 13 on the G and B strings. Okay, and then here I've got a B flat on 15 to C on 13. So little push on that E flat on where are we? 16. Same notes. Yeah, back into it. So that so that last bit is I'm bending on a G, okay, all the way up on 18. Release on the B string to C on 17. A B flat on 15. G on 17 on the D string. Just kind of finish with a little pull on that B flat on 15. Okay, and there's a little section at the end which you'll notice where it kind of goes. So getting towards the end, instead of playing that G down here on the chorus, he's playing it very much like we started. Okay, yeah, like on the intro down to C. Okay, and then he kind of goes. So here I'm just playing a G and just adding that C. So I'm basically just playing 5, 4, 3 and adding my little finger on 5. So that's on the D, G and B strings, adding my little finger. adding my little finger on 5 there on G, and then the one that we've been doing all the time, that's C to F. That kind of ending. Yeah, just those 2 chords. Okay, so that is the Keith part. So for the Mick Taylor part, I'm in a tuning similar to Keith's, but I've got the actual top string here tuned back to an E. So it's D, which I never play, okay, and then G, D, G, B, E, okay, and I'm starting with just this C on 5 on the open, on what's been retuned to G, okay, and then open D, F, and G, open 3, 5, and then I just hit a partial C chord on 5 and 5 on D and G. Second time I slide to it, yeah, and again, and then in this riff I'm playing slightly differently to the Keith part. I'm playing, so here I'm doing the kind of adding, I've got E flat to A flat there, whereas that keeps adding that note. What I'm doing here is adding 8 on, a bar on 8, adding 10 on the D string and 9 on the B string. Same pattern, okay, on 5th fret. Then just here, just kind of hitting the A flat chord, and then doing this, moving it up 2 frets and just playing that, okay, that E flat there to B flat. So again, that same shape, bar on 3, adding your 3rd and 2nd fingers, this time on 5 and 4, back into that familiar C to F to C, yeah, and again, and then so here I'm just kind of doing the classic kind of rock and roll, adding the 6th note. So I'm just a little bar on 5 on the A, B, and G string. What would be A, it's now tuned to G. Okay, so 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. And just adding 7. Then same shape. Now adding the 7th note as well, the E flat here. So I'm just doing barring on 10 on the D string, adding 12 and 13. And then now adding that kind of same flat 7th there on 8 there. Yeah, over that C chord. So 7, 8 on the D string. So then I'm just doing the same thing, adding that 6th note on the B flat chord there. So 3 and 5, and then here Keith's just playing, but the Mick part plays that, so just around midnight. Okay, so it's about 5, 3, then so just hitting the kind of middle open strings, and then I'm going sliding to a B there, on 4 on the A string, and then just open D, open G strings, and slide into a G on 5 on the D string. So yeah, and then a B flat, little pull. So 3, 5 on G and D, 5 on G, little pull, back to the G note on 5. So it's got then okay, and then as I say, there's little variations, but it's pretty similar all the way through. There's a little bit at the end where it kind of goes, you'll see it on the playthrough, because just doing that little kind of shuffle, you know, on the G chord, just adding on the 12th position bar, just adding 12 and 13 on the D string. Then when C chord, adding 7 and 8, A and B flat. And then right at the end, we've got so I'm just playing kind of Chuck Berry riff, just a bar across 3 and 3. That's why I needed my E string tune back. Then 5, look, a bar on 5 on the G and B strings, so C and E. A little pull on 3, again same 2 strings. Land on that G on 5. And just play exactly the same thing, but now starting in the 8th position. So you've got 8, 10, 8, 10. And you repeat that, and then right at the end. So I'm just playing that bar on 8, pull. So I'm pulling on 10. So 10 and 10 on G and B. And you're finished. All right, so we'll take a look next at the bass. I've not played the bass exactly note for note because there's lots of little variations throughout the song, so it's too much to kind of learn. But obviously once you've got the basics of what he's playing, you're good to go and you can play around with it. So we're starting on a G. So to a C. Okay, so I'm, unlike the guitars, just tuned standardly. Okay, so I'm playing 10 to 3 on the A string. You hear a little slide, that's why I'm playing it all on the A string. So that's on the intro, just those 2 notes, and then you've got so I've got the E flat on 6, little passing note of A, so to C, sorry. So 6, open, 3, open, 4 on the E string, open, B flat on 1, so then just use that A as kind of like a little way to get to the next note, makes it easier, but it also adds a bit of interest, so so you go to the C, back to the C. So he plays this a lot in the song, and quite often it's a little bit different each time. Okay, so if you look on the playthrough, you'll see sometimes he's kind of doing or that kind of thing, or yeah. So sometimes it's just those are the notes: C, E, F, F sharp, G. Okay, so it's 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the second time it's, and then it kind of goes back to, and then the ones where it, there's one where it goes, so like that, where you get a C on top. And there's another one kind of after the second kind of little guitar riff bit, which goes after the little A in there, 2 on 2. But really it's all just a variation of, to get that kind of movement in the C chord, okay? Yeah, and so that's kind of, and then the second time he plays a little fill, just puts a third in, the G, E flat, 5, 6, open, like before. And then you're kind of into the verse. Like I say, he kind of mixes up little changes in the rhythm here and there, whatever. But once you get the kind of basics of what he's playing, you're good to go. So I'm just playing on the C note, and just throwing in an open A there. And to get to the F, I'm playing the C on 3, open D, 5, 3. And using that little D there, just the open D, just to add more interest. Then using the open D and the G on 5, open D. So I'm going, just staying at C, just play a quick open G to get me to here. Just, that's taking you to the chorus, so that's that B flat, little passing note of B to a C. You can play the open G again to get you to here. So I'm playing G, then going B, D, E, G. And then, so it's 3, 3, 2, 5, 2, 5, 5, 5, then 2, open, open, open A. Then, and then you've got more C and A. Then, yeah. Then little, those notes again, leading back into, just staying on the C the second time. So you put that in 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah, so you know, then you're back into, and that's basically most of it. On the guitar solo, you're just playing that bit again, just, you know, sometimes in, you know, whatever, you know, any kind of, you throw in extra notes if you want, you know. So it's just kind of round repeating on that kind of riff section. Okay, the E flat to C to A flat to B flat section. And yeah, back into verse choruses all the way. There's a little variation at the end where we're kind of coming out. So out of the sax solo that I did for guitar, the last one I'm going. So I'm just going in that chorus after the solo. I'm actually playing. Normally I play. I'm actually just playing that G, the higher G instead. And also at the end of the song, you notice it kind of goes. So right at the end, I'm playing the high G again on 5. Just an open D to get me to the C. Then climbing back up, D, E, F, F sharp, back to the G. And then kind of right at the end, back to. And then. That kind of right at the end, just C and A, then a little G in there. So 3 open, G on 3 on the E string, open A. It's 3 and ended on the C. 3 open 3. Okay, so take those bits and play around with them. You know, as long as you kind of getting the right roots and throwing in these little fills, you can have a lot of fun with that song. So. Thanks for watching, buddies. Cheers.